And look at what happens, Warner Brothers. What have we been saying? Look at what fucking happens when you just let artists be artists. Shit. Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch a Movie. I am Mike, and this is the Suicide Squad review. Spoiler free. Probably will do a spoiler review in a couple days so that you guys can enjoy that too once you've all had a chance to see the film, because there's a lot of effing spoilers in it. A lot. You know what I realized after watching this movie and seeing some people's reviews for it? And first off, most of the reviews are correct. This is a wild, zany, hilarious, awesome, refreshing superhero movie that I feel like people like you and I are going to enjoy a lot. But I have seen other people that, the kinds that are going to be offended by this kind of movie. And it got me thinking, first off, before I get into that even, be sure to join us tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern for a live stream Friday night. All sorts of cool movie news to talk about. We're gonna have a blast. Got some Halloween Kills stuff. Got a cool Friday the 13th idea to go into, but I'm not sure if we're gonna save that yet, depending on when news comes out today. But be sure you're there for the stream tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Either way, we're gonna have a lot of cool stuff to talk about. So back to what I was saying. I think there are two types of superhero fans. I think there is a type that really love the Marvel formula and what they do, and they really enjoy that. And I think the reason for that is you have some people who, now I enjoy Marvel movies, but I'm talking about that specific Marvel formula. They want that and nothing outside of it. There's certain people that hate the Zack Snyder films, or they hate films that try to do anything unlike it. There is that group of people out there. Now, I think the reason for that is that some people look at the Marvel formula, the Marvel universe, as Disney. And it makes sense, because think about why people love Disney children's movies. I've never been a big fan of them. Even when I was a kid, the singing made me feel awkward, which is strange because I love music. But anyways, I think that some people get that nice, cozy, I'm safe and I'm gonna enjoy myself and have a good, entertaining, wholesome time with maybe a couple of, no cursing Captain America type jokes in there. And they just get that nice, safe feeling from that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're a person who's like that, I will tell you that the Suicide Squad will literally piss in your Cheerios right in front of your mother. Okay? I mean, it is not for those people. It is not going to give you any kind of smushy, nice feelings inside. But for people like me who are probably a little fucked up inside, and like so many of you guys, I think really get into that and enjoy it. So this movie, number one, it's completely original, and it's so refreshingly original. It doesn't feel like any other movie. And to explain it the best way I possibly can is it's like James Gunn used to make trauma movies, and it's like Warner Brothers just let him make a trauma superhero movie. It's what it feels like. It's insane, some of the shit they do. The gore is nonstop, over the top, crazy. I'm pretty sure I saw a dick. 97% sure I saw a dick pop up. And it's just, wild cursing. There's no graphic sex scenes that I can think of. There's a long sex scene, but it's not even that bad. They don't really dive into the grossness of that kind of stuff. That's not gross, but you know what I mean. They don't really dive into anything crazy except for the gore. The gore is just fucking wily, man. It's crazy. And it's fun. And not just the gore, but it feels more like a science fiction, wackadoo science fiction movie than it even does a superhero movie. The whole thing just feels original. It's a breath of fresh air. And I agree with James Gunn when he says that superhero movies are getting boring. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to watch most of them that come out, and I'm still going to be excited about them, but I can't help but feel like if they keep down this path, like so many do, and I'm not talking about like the Jokers and stuff like that. I'm talking about like the Black Widows, where it's fine and it's the Marvel thing when you get it. And it works, but if they keep down that path for too much longer, people are going to lose interest. I just think that's what's going to happen, and I've always felt that way for a while. So I completely agree with him. So this is the kind of movie that I think is perfect. But at the same time, I'm not, for anybody who's saying, oh yeah, give us the dark and gritty, everything's R-rated and nasty, kids can't even go see superhero movies, I disagree with that, and here's why. Because I feel like I wouldn't want every movie to look like this. This is not a perfect movie. There are choices that they make that I actually didn't like, that I just went, ew, I don't enjoy that. Like, little tiny artistic choices. But I appreciate even the ones that I don't like because I didn't expect them. It zigs when you expect it to zag. It goes all over the place. It's wild. You don't know what's going to happen. I appreciate being surprised, and it's so hard to surprise us now. We've seen so many superhero movies, and some people, they just don't want that, and I understand that. But for me, I wouldn't want every movie to be like this. This would get old really quick if people started to copy it and they started to do the same movie over and over again. It would get really old. I think even if he does a Suicide Squad 2, he's gonna have to switch up a lot of stuff. And I think that he will, because in every scene over and over again in the Suicide Squad, you're surprised, you're laughing, something will be cute. There's a couple moments that are just a little bit heartwarming even though they speed by them really quick. You're surprised in every scene. I watched this at home because I had plans last night. I usually would have gone to the theater to see it, but I did watch it at home, and I gotta say, like, it's just one of those movies, man, where you just don't pick up your phone one single time. You don't even consider it. And it's just fun. It's fun, it's wily, it's fucking out there, and it's hilarious. Idris Elba is a fucking star. I mean, we all know that already, but he's a great leader of the Suicide Squad, of the movie itself. Rick Flag, the dude that plays Rick Flag, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, even though I know it. RoboCop, Joel Kinnaman. His character, now I'm not shitting on David Ayer at all because that wasn't his movie. I blame Warner Brothers for all of that shit, I really do. But the Rick Flag in this movie, where they let him shine, is completely different, completely redeemed. He is the same character, yes, but he's not just a barking army mouthpiece. You care about him, what happens to him, and he's actually likable. At least for me, he was. Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie, it's amazing what she does. And I honestly don't think she gets enough credit, because the Harley Quinn character is the Harley Quinn character, but, you know, it's just, I think we're used to it. It's one of those things we almost take for granted now. But if you look at what she goes through movie to movie and year to year, her character seems to stay the same yet progress. Like, you can see the changes in the character just by the way she acts. There's some nuances, whether the Joker's around, whether he's not, all the stuff she's been through. That's really cool. The fun superhero shit is just there. I mean, you still get it, even though this is it's a way fucking wackadoo out there superhero movie. The action is still superhero-ish. There's one scene in particular that just feels like, you know, you're playing with action movie toys. And there's several scenes like that where you're just a kid playing with action movie toys. They're not too cool to still give you an entertaining superhero movie. There's one scene that's an actual hand-to-hand combat scene that I watched, and I could not believe it. I was like, man, they don't do this in movies anymore. There's like it's not even a long scene or anything like that. You might not even remember it. It's like 5 minutes long, and some of it takes place through a reflection even, which was a cool shot. And there's a ton of artistic cool shots in here. I mean, James Gunn went all out with just really being artistic with the way he shot this. But there's a hand-to-hand combat scene that reminded me of, like, you know, the end of Broken Arrow between Christian Slater and John Travolta. You just don't see those in movies very often anymore unless they're the Expendables or whatever. And even the superhero ones, they're so super powered. And I know that's what this is too, but it felt like two dudes fighting. Like two big, strong action movie dudes fist fighting, and I really appreciated that. There's a lot of little stuff like this that I like. And again, it's not a perfect movie. I actually thought that Sylvester Stallone voicing the shark would be way funnier than it was. And it was fine. I loved it, dude, when he would rip people apart, and you've seen it in the stills and the trailers. It's cool, and the shark's an awesome character, and I love him. But I actually thought that would be way funnier than it actually turned out to be. And the big question I have is, how the fuck does Warner Brothers let this movie go through? Where there is just wild shit. People's faces getting blown off, people getting slashed in half, just nasty, crazy fucking shit, man. How is it that you guys let James Gunn do this and make, like I said, a trauma superhero film? But when it comes to Zack Snyder, you're like, nah, man, it's 25 minutes too fucking long. Cut out your story. How do you do that? How are you that just fucking all over the place? I guess it's pretty simple, actually. They went to James Gunn and said, you did a Marvel success project, so we will trust, and we will just let you have carte blanche. Which was still a little bit risky considering James Gunn's done some wild shit. But honestly, I applaud Warner Brothers, and I have to. Even though I think this is a cheap move to just be like, see, we let our directors do whatever. I know that their fucking dicks dropped when they saw the dailies of this. And you know that they loved it and thought it was entertaining, but they probably just, their dicks just crawled right back into their stomachs. Is that where your dick comes from? I don't know. But wherever dicks come from, theirs went back to it, or, you know, lady parts. I don't know how they would go. You know, let's just not get into the semantics of people's private parts being sucked back inside of them out of pure fear. This is why no one watches this channel. But, I mean, you know that they watch that. And we're like, oh, fuck, what did we do? And one ballsy son of a bitch is like, not this time, motherfuckers. I am not doing a second cut of this goddamn movie. You put it out there the way he fucking made it. And let's just let it all burn. But whatever it was, I have to applaud them for having the balls to put this out when it hit their table. And James Gunn, god damn it, smack you on the ass and call you Susan. You had the balls to put this on their fucking table. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm glad that at least somebody got their comeuppance. And look at what happens, Warner Brothers. What have we been saying? Look at what fucking happens when you just let artists be artists. It's a beautiful goddamn thing. A couple quick notes. I'm not sure how the Peacemaker series is going to work out or how that's going to happen. But I will say this. John Cena was really good in this movie. I actually think that his stupid outfit takes away from the character. Like, I think he's good enough to not need that gimmick in a sense. And I get that that's the character and stuff like that. But he was really good. I actually really enjoyed his character in this a lot. Again, fucking Idris Elba was amazing. The whole cast, I thought, did an amazing job. And there's so many surprises that are just going to smack you in the face with a dick. There I go again. And I just want to say that the Weasel is officially my absolute favorite superhero character of all time. Ever. Fucking always. There is nothing cooler than that creature. And not a lot of screen time, but fuck. And David Dastmalchian is a badass. That guy's got a huge future, and I knew he had a future from the day I saw him in The Dark Knight sweating and smiling at Two-Face, overacting and screaming at him in that scene in the tunnel. So I give this movie a 9 out of 10. By the way, Jay texted me while he was watching it, and he absolutely fucking loved it too. So that's the stamp of approval from both of us. Thank you all so much for fucking watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and touch the little bells, because we're gonna have a spoiler review up for this in a couple days. Also, be sure to be here tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the live stream. Lots of movie news, lots of goodness. I'm gonna tickle your butt slowly with a feather.